We're heading to South Korea shortly. Simon has been tasked with doing a little bit of research.
A lot of research.
On places that I've identified, which got us both thinking how we do our research. Now, I like to follow lots of different travel vloggers around their travels and get ideas from them. And Simon watches his own few travel vloggers. Some of them we overlap, but not always. Today we decided we wanted to share our favourite travel vloggers and why we like them. In no particular order, we're not starting with the one we like least or like the most. Probably the most famous, I would say, travel vloggers that most people know are definitely Cara and Nate. So Cara and Nate are an American couple from Nashville who have been travelling for 9 years full time. They started off with just doing a year that they banked up all their travel miles and were going to head off for a year, and it's turned into a huge business for them. Their early videos were pretty much on budgets, sticking to budgets. Their later videos,
not much of a budget in them.
I don't think they're things that we necessarily could afford. For example, the big Earth Roamer, which was their last video, I don't think we'll be able to afford to rent one of those anytime soon.
No.
We do hope that one day we can do their Antarctica trip that they did. So they started with the idea of visiting 100 countries, and once they achieved that, they've gone crazy with their travels. They've got a really nice personality. They're quite entertaining. There's a bit of an entertainment value, as well as them sharing the history of places and a little bit of the food and the culture. You've got to love Cara's face when she enjoys something she's eating. They give you lots of different tips, and it's no surprise that they've got 4.14 million subscribers as of today. They've got 998 videos out there, and I really enjoy watching them.
Well worthwhile.
Yeah, they didn't release a video today, which made me a bit sad. I was looking forward to it. But anyway, another couple that we love that are Australian, well, I actually really like them, is Jordan and Emily.
That's not to say that I don't like them.
Emily reminds me of our daughter-in-law, actually, very much so.
Daughter-in-law to be, don't say that.
Daughter-in-law to be. I say daughter-in-law, she's my daughter-in-law, married or not. They're Australian. They're an Australian couple who have been travelling full-time for 3 years. I believe Emily used to work in used to be a flight. What do they call it?
Flight attendant.
Flight attendant.
Trolley dolly.
No, don't call them trolley dollies. Geez, Simon. And they are aiming to travel to 100 countries as well. What I really love about them is they are trying to do it on a budget. They don't always go to the fancy places because it doesn't meet their budget. They show you as much as they can see. They do aim for $100 a day. I used to think their budget was 100 Australian a day, but I actually think it might be 100 US a day. They're currently, their videos are currently around China, and they've actually changed my mind about visiting China because our experience with China in the past hasn't been the best. But after watching their videos, thank you, Jordan and Emily, I really want to go back and see some of the things that you've seen. They've got 48.1 thousand subscribers, and they've made 274 videos, but well worth checking out. The next one we wanted to share was The Adventures of Matt and Nat. They're actually quite entertaining as well. They have a blend between travel tips, food. I don't necessarily think they do much on budget travelling, but they do share the costs of things. They're an American couple from Nashville as well who have been travelling for 4 years. Their YouTube channel does say they're part-time travellers, but I don't know if that's a bit old. They seem to be travelling quite a lot. They started off by travelling to 50 US states, and now they're working through the book of 1,000 places to see before you die. They've got 108,000 subscribers and currently have 252 videos. So, but I really enjoy watching them. We actually agree on the next one.
We do. So the next one is abroad in Japan, which is Chris Broad, who's an English guy who went to Japan to teach English. And he's purely based in Japan. He doesn't tend to do travel elsewhere, but a fantastic channel to watch if you're looking for ideas of what to do in Japan, where to go, some of those more out of the way places to see.
So he's been making YouTube videos for 12 years. So he's got a lot.
About 3 million subscribers with 300 plus videos. Definitely worth a watch.
He's really quite entertaining. He has some entertaining guests, I'd say, on his channel.
Some of his Japanese friends,
Natsuki is probably my favourite. But he makes all different videos from, you know, eating for 24 hours from a 7-Eleven to travelling out to Nagano to see the snow monkeys. So a really broad, funnily enough, no pun intended, a really broad channel. And he has 3.18 million subscribers, which is...
I just said that.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay. I wasn't listening to you.
So Chris is really good to watch if you're looking for that information on Japan. You're going to Japan for the first time, or you want to find something else to do that's not based sort of in Osaka or Kyoto or Tokyo. He takes you to a lot of out-of-the-way places. And
his fiancée or partner has her own YouTube channel as well. I can't remember. It's a strange name, but I'll pop that in the link as well. And he has just opened a bar called
Tokyo.
the Lost Bar
in Tokyo.
Tokyo. The next one we wanted to share is Brian and Carrie. And they're an older, I wouldn't say, they're probably our age. I just called us older. They're probably our
more
age.
mature.
I think maybe a couple of years older than us, but much the same. And they retired early, and they're American. They sold up everything and started travelling 3 years ago with their YouTube channel. And they have predominantly been doing slow travel and staying in places for a length of time and travelling on a budget. But I've noticed that they are mixing it up a little bit more now with fast travel, so not just the slow travel. What I like about them is that they share tips around budget. They're honest. They like to have a beer. I don't like to have a beer, but they've actually got lots of different things about there. They call it 230, something to do with having a beer at 2:30. They've got 77.2 thousand followers, and they've made 255 videos so far. I like most of their videos. Some of them are a little hit and miss because they're targeted at different aspects that don't relate to us as yet. They're well worth watching. So next one is another one that sometimes Simon sits and I really like this couple. These YouTubers, Dane and Stacey. They're from New Zealand. So they're in New Zealand. Don't get confused. They're not Australian. They're from New Zealand. And they travel all over the place. They've been travelling for 8 years, so they do have a lot of videos. They've got 803 videos out there, and they just get out there, have fun. They share lots of experiences. I really liked their go-karting through Tokyo a couple of weeks ago. I think we're going to try that when we're there in a few months. And they try the local foods. They share information on the foods, and they do some different things as well, but they do things, unlike Cara and Nate, they're actually things that are affordable. And they've got 204,000 subscribers, so it's no surprise, but check them out, they're quite good.
Next is one that I've only just come across very recently, and I know Tanya's watched at least one of his videos, and that's Mike OK. Mike O'Kennedy, I believe his name is. So he's, again, an English guy, and his videos are a bit different. So it's all the places you probably would never dream of going. So his latest two videos are both from North Korea, and he's literally been there in the last month or so, and North Korea has now closed the border again to foreign tourists visiting, so I'm not sure exactly what Mike did there. But if you go and look at some of his other videos, he visits places like Iraq, China.
So he's only got 63 videos,
Yeah.
but he's got 596,000 subscribers, which is quite incredible.
Yeah, so he's obviously traveling on quite a small budget for what he has to pay whilst he's in these countries, but it's quite eye-opening to see how welcomed he is into some of these countries where you'd think as a Western tourist he's probably, well, there's probably many travel advisories to start with saying don't go there, but he's the one that goes there and actually shows you what it's really like, and stays with local people and only talks to local people, doesn't do organised tours except in North Korea.
Yeah, and I think along the lines of him, there's a channel that I quite like as well called Josie Lifts Things. She's got two channels. She's got Josie Vlogs Things, which is more just very unedited vlogging, but her Josie Lifts Things is a little bit more around, I'd say more a documentary style, and she's an Australian who's been on YouTube for 3 years, and one of the ones that really made me want to follow her was, I think it was Afghanistan that she went to, and showing what it was like for a woman to actually travel there, and really breaking the myths of what, not that we're going to head there, but it's actually really quite interesting. And she travels with her partner, Michael, whose name is, and her series of visiting India as well. Like Simon has quite often said, no, we're not going to India, but watching those, I hadn't even realised that India has the most beautiful countryside that makes me want to go and visit. But she started 3 years ago where I believe they lived in Asia, I think it was Thailand, for about a year, and that's where she kicked off. She's got just over 1 million followers, so there's a lot of people interested in what she's doing, and she's had 548 videos so far. So we've got a couple more.
Well, my next one is Bald and Bankrupt. I think it's Ben is his name, if I remember rightly. So he really got big doing tours of the Soviet Union. And I'm not exactly sure of his history, but he can speak Russian and obviously knows an awful lot about the country, and again travels to some of those places that are a bit more off the beaten track, but certainly has a lot of love for Russian culture and Soviet style of living. His problem happened with Russia, though, is when he went to see the Buran space shuttle, and so that's an abandoned Russian space shuttle somewhere, maybe Baikonur Cosmodrome, I think. Anyway, it's basically you have to break into a derelict warehouse, and he unfortunately got caught and kicked out of the country.
It didn't stop 4.33 million people subscribing to him on YouTube.
And he now does travel to, again, similar to what Mike OK does, he's traveling to other parts of the world where, as a Western tourist, you probably wouldn't want to go. They did a big trip through what's called the Darien Gap, which is where all the people from South America trying to get to North America travel through, jungles and crossing rivers and seeing dead bodies and so on. So again, doing things that as a tourist you wouldn't normally do, but again, definitely worth watching.
Yeah, he's got 273 videos, and it's not to watch to get travel tips. It's more about broadening your knowledge of the world, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's another one that we subscribe to, and that's the Retirement Travelers. Now, they are a senior couple, and they call themselves a senior couple, so that's okay. They're from America, and they retired early and travel full time. They've been traveling for 5 years, and they sold up everything. So They sold their home, they gave away all their possessions, and they travel with just a backpack. And they have been to 100 countries so far, and they really give lots of tips about the destinations they're going to. And I think if you are looking at travelling in retirement, they're definitely someone to look at. They don't slow travel. They seem to be moving around quite frequently, but definitely worth watching to get some tips. They've got 146,000 subscribers, and they've put out 248 videos as such in the time. And the last one, I don't know if Simon's actually sat and watched this one. I've only gotten into this one in the last couple of weeks, and it's called Carissa Eats. And she basically has been on YouTube for about 2 years. Her videos are just about eating, but it's about travelling and all these destinations and places to eat whilst you're there. She gives tips. She shares how much things cost. She gives you her honest opinion. She talks a million miles an hour, but she's actually really, really engaging. She's got nearly 4 million subscribers. So even though she talks fast, people enjoy watching her. She's put out 700 odd videos so far. But if you are really interested in the cuisine of different areas and ideas for different cafes or restaurants or hole-in-the-wall places to go to, she's worth watching.
Yep.
But I think they're the main ones we tend to watch.
There's always others, and YouTube is going to promote other videos the more you...
And they should watch.
Yeah.
Travel with Tanya and Simon.
Oh, obviously, this is the channel to watch. There's no other.
But I think some of these are the ones that we aspire...
And have been inspired by as well.
Aspire to be.
Yeah.
I was going to say that our last few videos have been sit down talking to the cameras, but we are heading off to South Korea in a few weeks, not long now, and we will have lots of on-the-road videos coming up to take us up to our next trip, which will be...
Tokyo.
We're back to Tokyo. We've been there lots and lots of times, but we're back to Tokyo, and then that will take us up to our 4 months of travelling at the end of the year. So if you want to see those, as Simon said, don't forget to subscribe.
Thanks for your time.
See you in the next video.
Bye.